You know, guest antics at a theme park are something that I've never really done a video on, and I don't know why I haven't. But a couple of articles from, let's see, I think it's WDW News Today, and also, they're both from the same site. So yeah, a couple articles from Walt Disney World News Today just instantly grabbed my attention, and it made me think we need to talk about the crazy guests that go to these parks. And today specifically, we're going to be talking about Disney World. Also, if you hear some like squawking and squeaking in the back, my daughter is playing on her mat. She's like 6 months old. So anyway, gotta have her in here with me. I'm the only parent at the house. You know, parents, you get me. You know how it goes. Anyway, all right. So here we go. So let's start easy. Let's start with the less abrasive one, shall we? So I'm actually gonna pull up the article here. All right, so the article starts with shout out to this guy. Guest with child jumps out of log and wanders for 40 minutes on Tiana's Bayou adventure. It's crazy. All right, so this is actually someone I guess posted on a Disney World tips and tricks page on Facebook that could be helpful to you guys if you're planning on going to the parks. So maybe check that one out. But anyway, all right, I digress. Let's read it. It says shout out to this guy who held up everyone on Tiana's for 30 to 40 minutes because he and his son jumped out of their log. The ride had been paused for maybe 10 minutes with very clear announcements to remain seated. Yeah, Disney's pretty good at that. It says he chose to jump out of the log with his kid and try to exit. The cast members came over the speakers 3 times. Yes, 3 times, asking him to get back into the log, and he refused. He began shining his phone flashlight around, looking for an exit, as well as waving the bright light in our faces as we sat there dumbfounded on why he was even doing this. Or on why he was doing this. Eventually, another cast member came over the speaker telling him to stay where he was and that someone would be there to escort them out shortly. We went from a 10-minute ride pause to 30 to 40-minute ride pause just because of this guy. Just sharing this as a reminder to please follow the rules and stay in your ride vehicle. There is absolutely no need for this to happen. This guy is teaching his son that rules don't matter and you can do whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. All right, yeah, you get the idea. Dude, you gotta stay in the car, man, or in this case the log. You know, you gotta stay in the log if you're on the log ride. I don't know what some people. I don't know if it's entitlement. When I initially read this, I'm not gonna lie, my first thought was kind of like maybe there's a language barrier because I know that does happen sometimes. Like if you get international guests coming over and visiting the parks, if there's an announcement, then they sometimes don't understand. I've actually had that happen before to me last year when I was there. It actually wasn't even a ride in the park. It was literally just the tram to get from the parking lot to the main gate. And there was this family. There's like a yellow line on the ground, something like that. That they tell you to stay behind if it's not time to board, or if like boarding is full and you got to wait for the next one, whatever. This guy just like, I mean, thankfully it wasn't a 30 to 40 minute thing, but it was like an extra 3 minutes. And it was just, everyone was just kind of like, dog, literally move your foot from over the line to behind the line. But I think that, I like when we were pulling off, his family was like kind of laughing at him and stuff, and they were not speaking English. And I was like, oh, he quite literally didn't understand what they were telling him to do. But it was the same sort of situation. It was like, sir, can you please get behind the yellow line? Sir, please. Anyway, you're going to get stuff like that, right? Like these theme parks these are the most popular parks on planet Earth. Like it comes with the territory. You're going to get some interesting people. Okay. With that, and speaking of logs, I'm sorry. We have another one here. Oh boy. Okay. This is from the same site, Walt Disney World News Today. Cosmic behind. Guest poops all over floor and walls of Cosmic Rewind at EPCOT, and people kept standing there. The title alone to this is like, Initially in like we have a group chat that's just some friends of mine that all love going to Disney and everything. I think there's four or five of us in there. Four of us doesn't matter. But the initial, someone sent this article yesterday, and then the immediate reply was, yeah, I just keep saying it too, the ride's that good. Which, you know, to each their own. I personally am really, really like, I can't do the smell thing, man. Like, if it's a bad smell. Also, if it's literal feces on the ground, especially like human feces, not like an animal did it, but like somebody got sick, dude, come on, man. Yeah, it's tough. These pictures killed me. It's just it's just a bunch of people covering their mouths and noses. This chick in particular over here on the left just looks utterly horrified. Like, what do you even do? It's probably hot in Orlando right now. It's like everyone's probably just done. This ride recently went from virtual queue to standby, so everyone's been waiting all day. Like, this is the ride to ride EPCOT, and I can't imagine anything worse, truthfully. Like, it's just super, super rough. Okay, and then yeah, man, right here, wow. Okay, we've got, oh boy, there's yeah, I mean, you know, thankfully it's not so so graphic that I can't show it. I think I can get away with this. This is just like, you know, like clearly somebody got sick, right? I think that the caption said something like it said something like the Flower and Garden Festival didn't sit well with somebody, which, hey man, we've all been there. We're all people, we're human. This sort of thing happens, but my gosh, worst place on planet Earth for this to happen. A crowded Disney World line on the most popular ride at this particular park. Like, you could not, you just can't, you can't make that up, man. You can't make that up. It doesn't get much worse than that. But I guess with this, right, and I'm gonna kind of leave it here today. What would you do in this situation? What would you do if someone quite literally defecated themselves because they got sick in a line? I think that I don't know what I would do. I guess maybe it depends on how far I am in the line, right? If it's like towards the front, hey dude, I'm gonna let them figure that out. I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna be like, hey, I was in line for this already, but somebody just pooped their pants, and I can't handle the smell. Otherwise, you're gonna be cleaning my vomit off of the ground also. So anyway, I think that that's probably where I would go. But you know, if it's like you're about to hop on and this happens, hey dude, sayonara. You know what I mean? Like, we've made it this far. We're about to hop on. I'm gonna suck it up for a second, I guess. That's just where I'm gonna land with it. These couple stories did get me thinking, though. Like, all right, if this stuff is happening, you know, and we're getting articles about it, this sort of thing, maybe not to this level, but I'm sure, I'm almost positive that you guys have some stories. I would love to read some of these and do a video on them, and maybe even bring you guys on to like tell the story, depending on like what it is, like how detailed it is, all of that. Like, I think that this is just it's just real low-hanging fruit, and we all love stories like this. It's just it's funny, it's human nature, it's part of the parks, it's part of going. It just, you know, it's a part of the whole deal. But yeah, I'm gonna put the email for the channel in the description. I'm gonna pop it up here as well. And if you want to send in a story, please do. I would love to read them. I'd love to hear about it, and we'll do a video on them real soon, like probably in the next couple of days, depending on how many I get. But anyways, I'm John. This is Cindy Park Rangers. It's been excellent having you here. Love you all. Kiss, kiss. Goodbye. Peace.